Okay, hello, everyone. Good to see all of you back on stream. I think a lot of people are asking me, Vivek, what's the music in the background? I just use StreamYard. You can see the logo there, and there is this daydreaming background music on that. So I just use that. I just find it fairly cool, right? Uh, I guess some of you guys are asking about ICPC Code Fest. Like you guys can chat about that on this. I haven't seen the question though. Cohort 28 Feb. How about doubt solving? Yeah, we will have a separate stream about this. I guess since you have already asked, there is a new cohort of AlgoZenith decided on 28th Feb, and I am the lead instructor there. So if you guys have been watching the streams and if you have been planning to join in like 28th Feb, there's a new batch starting for biweekly 4th, and I knew it was DNC but couldn't solve it because I didn't know the implementation of that optimization. Okay, then you should have solved some problem before. I have not seen the problem yet, to be very honest. For I saw this. The optimization of their own, what should the process be? Come up from their own, you should have solved some problem of that optimization probably. DNC optimization, I'll probably not teach that. I don't know. We'll build the recurrence, and if it seems to be that as you guys are telling, maybe we'll look at it. But DNC optimization is generally a like high rated topic. Ideally should not have come, but if it has, then maybe we'll look at it, right? I mean, each DP optimization is probably like a 1 hour lecture in itself. Be that Kunut optimization, alien trick, DNC optimization, all these advanced optimization, convex hull, like in its entirety, right? They are like 1-2 hours of lecture in themselves. So probably, yeah, probably we'll look at them eventually, but then it's very hard to teach that on a like class here. Because we have a lot of problems to discuss today, but I have time today. That's the good thing. So we'll look at it. We'll see whatever we can teach, whatever we can learn, and we'll definitely do that. Okay, we'll look at it. CHT is definitely much more doable. CHT is doable. Yeah, everything is possible, guys. If you guys think that it cannot come in even an coding test, maybe in future someday somebody will put that in coding test also. Okay, let's get started. I guess we should not waste any more time on discussing these things. Let's slowly start taking questions, and today I'll try, since I have more time, we'll look at most questions and we'll try to deep dive into them, and we'll take like second, third and fourth problems of all the contests that we have been pending on, which means we have 3 contests to cover. And let me like start from the recent first and we'll go backwards. So how many of you were able to solve like let's go to contest. I'll share my screen real quick to first check if some other tab is open or not. No. Okay, great. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, how many questions were you able to solve in weekly? By the way, I have not seen the questions at all as of now. Bi-weekly, weekly. Somebody had told me this week, last week weekly I might have seen. Yeah, okay, this I might have seen. These problems I haven't seen yet. So I'll look at the last 2 problems of all these. Yeah, we'll go backwards. We have to follow a process, because or else everybody will request some question. Weekly, how many questions? 3. Bi-weekly, 2. Okay, good. Bi-weekly 3, fourth one got TLE. Okay, so I think many of you were able to do 3 problems in weekly, and this is what I have seen like as a common trend, that people are able to solve 3 questions. Also because sometimes even AI helps a lot. All AIs can solve almost 3 problems nowadays. Okay, so but we'll still look at 3 and we'll discuss it like briefly, and then we'll mostly move to 4th. Right. So we'll start from weekly, and we'll start from 3rd problem onwards. So this is again one of the style of problems that I discussed in my last live stream. Can somebody tell me what kind of problem is this? This is a special tag of problem. Like, I don't know if you have seen these kind of problems before. Do you all remember? I told about this in my last live stream. What type of problems is this called? Do you all remember the name of the type of problem? This type of problem where you have to design a data structure design problem. Specifically, this is like, yeah, data structure design, or more like algorithmic design. There is, in this world, there are like more you go towards design, you have different levels. Let me just quickly set up this, and just so that my PC doesn't lag, let me close my Docker stuff. Okay. So when you go into design problems, right, there is like a realm altogether. The easiest of them, or the lowest level, is algorithmic design, right? Then you have machine coding, and then you have LLD, like low level design for bigger solution, for bigger statements, and then you have HLD, right? This is the realm of design when you are solving, and this is more close to DSA, and this is more close to like system design, what you would ideally read in system design and all, right? So this is the whole spectrum, and it depends on the scale of the problem, right? So algorithmic design, machine coding, LLD, HLD, right? These are the four type of things that you need to practice for. And we are right now, like, this problem is an algorithmic design problem. So let's look at it. It basically says add a rider, add a driver, okay? Match the earliest available driver with the earliest waiting driver, remove both from the, so this is just a queue, right? And you should be able to remove that this ride request of the rider ID has been cancelled. Oh, this is very simple in my opinion, that if you basically just have to maintain bunch of riders and bunch of drivers from the queue, but in the queue something can get cancelled, so you need to maintain what has gotten cancelled, right? That given a rider ID, if it is, yeah, you can maintain map and queue and a removed array, anything of that sort works, right? So basically the simple idea for this problem would be, you have a rider queue and a driver queue, and you just need to match the first with first, and new added riders will be added here, new drivers will be added here. And the thing that makes this problem a little more complicated is this cancel rider. So if there is a rider in the like queue, you can maintain some sort of map for it. This is one way in which you can do it. Map that uh, active map of, let's say, active riders, active ride IDs, right? And you can maintain like, hey, all the things that you put in the queue, like if you put X as the rider ID, you will make it active, you will make it active, you will make it active. And when somebody says to cancel something, you will mark it as 0, right? And when something comes out from this, you will see if that ride ID is active. If it is active, then you will match it with the driver, and if it is inactive, then you will discard it and you will loop the next. That way you can just simply maintain the rider and the drivers, and maybe a hash map, or some array also should work if the rider IDs are small. If the rider IDs are small, then you can like just use map array also, right? So this should be very, very simple. Understood? So this is just a STL problem, but you are maintaining another extra thing, this map, to help you with deleting things from a queue. The idea is, how do you delete things from queue or priority queue? The way you do that is you make a marker that what has been deleted, and when something comes out from here, you can delete it. I'm premium student and done 4 questions in the contest. Very nice. थर्ड क्वेश्चन इजी था, सेकंड वाला समझ में नहीं आया है. What? Second should be quickly doable. I don't know. Like, I'll just quickly give some idea. In each turn, choose a subarray. Oh, okay. Either max or second max, I guess. Oh. So for the max, you are looking for M is the current length of the array. . Oh, this is a good problem. This seems like a better problem than there, but constraints are fairly high. So since I'm seeing the constraints, I will not think about too much of DP, because like you cannot maintain these kind of things in DP. So this has to be, what is the value of M? Oh, अरे तब तो then we can always, hmm, yeah, first and last element. Exactly. I'll make like whoever is the first player will make, whoever is the second player who is trying to minimize will make the first player choose either the first or the last. Why? Because, okay, this is very, very interesting. This is very interesting. Like, I don't think it's as trivial as it seems. Yeah. So suppose there is an array, and of course the first player wants to get this max, but he cannot, because that's not the only left element. So probably I'd want to delete something that, like maybe like all of it. So this much would be left and the max would be at the end. There has to be a greedy argument to be built, right? This is very interesting. Okay. But the stream is blurry even at 720p. Is it so? It shouldn't be that blurry, but I guess it's optimized for mobile. And these are all bahana. See, StreamYard doesn't allow me to do higher, and I have tried on OBS. It just lags on my PC. I just need to get something cleaner. Okay. So if you maybe want to minimize it a little bit, जिसको पढ़ना है देखो वो पढ़ लेगा, ठीक है. स्ट्रीम अच्छा नहीं था, क्वालिटी अच्छी नहीं थी, ये सब बहाने मत दो, ठीक है. जिसको पढ़ाई करना है वो पढ़ाई कर लेगा. Yeah. So if I take one and the second player does anything else, I'll just delete the rest and I'll get the max. Okay. So we cannot give the first player next chance, which means I will have to delete this M, and no matter what I will leave here, like suppose this is the max and the first player deletes this, the second player has to delete the max. नहीं तो answer तो बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. It will be the max of the array. The second player will start deleting on this side. And if he deletes this much, the first player will take the max. Like if he stops here, he will be able to, he will try to pick the max. His worst case is this much if he deletes this and I delete further. His worst case is this. So I should not give the first player as many chances further and try to delete as much as possible so that he's left with only one move. Let me think about it as more formally. So when I'm deleting from this side, I cannot take all. So I will be left with this. This is always an option for player one to take, because no matter how much I take, the player one can always make this. No matter how much I make, the player one can always take this by deleting everything. है ना? So it is his worst. Think about this. Suppose player one deletes this, ठीक है? उसको maximum चाहिए. If I don't delete the maximum, then he will get the maximum, because whatever is left, he will delete on this side. So I have to delete the maximum. And then if you keep deleting it, wherever you stop, out of this, the player one can always get this. So he will strategize and do something such that he gets either this or better than this. So अब उसका player one का, if the player one's best he can get is greater than equal to this value, then why not make it this only for, so the player 2 should delete till this much so that the player 1 has to forcefully take this, right? That is how you build the argument. This is called, like, this is actually a good greedy problem. This is not an easy greedy problem. I don't know if, like, I think many people might have submitted with AI because this is not an easy ad hoc problem in my opinion, right? This is not an easy ad hoc problem. This is a good greedy problem, and you have to create argument. This is like greedy argument creation, right? If you have seen the forms, if you have seen some forms, in greedy, I have seen like operation decoding. Okay, and this uses a little bit of game theory. So this is not an easy problem. This is not a 5-pointer. I think this is more, yeah, this is like harder than the next problem. Thanks for mentioning this. This is harder than the last one. This problem is way easier. Like, this is the basic STL. If you have been doing STL problems correctly, I think everybody who was in the last cohort, they should have been able to solve this question, because it's a hard problem हमने class में discuss किया है, right, in the course. So this is what I feel you have to build in greedy argument, and that's how you can solve this problem. No, we discussed this problem, right? I'm frustrated by proving greedy. No, don't get frustrated. I think you will have to become comfortable with proofs. So either the first player will pick this or he will pick this, depending on whichever is maximum. So first player will find the max of the array and he wants to pick this. If it is in the end, agar max end pe hai, so first player can always pick it. If max is somewhere in the middle, he will say this is x, this is y, and without loss of generality, let's say y is greater than x. Okay, without loss of generality, y is greater than x, and this max is greater than y and greater than x. So the strategy for player 1 would be to delete this much, and for player 2 now, he has to let player 1 take either m or y. Because m is bigger than y, he will delete this much, and the first player will get y as the maximum. Got it? This is how you will possibly be able to generate this idea. ये 3 केस लो, because first player max लेना चाहता है. You have to build this argument. First player needs to take max. कैसे होगा? How will that happen? Write cases and then you will be able to prove it. This is actually a very good problem. I mean, I like this more than at least this. Right, for sure. This should have been the third problem. Okay, let's move to the next problem. You are given an array and it's a subarray is alternating if one of the following holds. Basically, it's alternatingly increasing, zigzag array. Basically, zigzag values are there. If we compare adjacent element, then you should compare this strictly smaller. Can remove at most, you can remove at most one element from nums. You have to select an alternating subarray from nums. Return an integer denoting maximum length of alternating subarray you can select. Oh, this is a very good DP problem, it seems. Yeah, seems like a DP problem immediately. See how quickly I'm able to decode this is a DP. Because the time you see these kind of problems, you are like already very comfortable with sort of DP-ish ideas. Brute force everything. No. Yeah, it should be possible without DP also, but I think I can just write one recurrence and should be able to solve the problem. I used prefix suffix idea here. Like if you delete, then what is the prefix best and suffix best? Yeah, for the ith element. So there are two ways. Yeah, correct. I think that is also possible. If you delete the ith element, what it's saying is you can delete an element and then you can concatenate the rest of the two arrays, right? Yeah. Once you delete, then you have to find the best alternating thing. So if you delete, then you can try to find the best in this prefix, find the best in this suffix, and see if you can merge these two solutions, right? Yeah. So at this end, like, so at every index, like you are saying prefix suffix, but that is also a DP, no? Like sort of DP of I, like when you will call, like at this end, what is the best zigzag ending at I? Isn't that what you are storing sort of when you are going through and doing the pass sort of, right? So what is happening here, right? What is happening here? When you suppose have some value 1, 3, 2, 5, 7, 9, 7, 9, 2, 1, right? 2, 1, let's say. So suppose you are trying to try deleting 7, right? So at this point, there is a down, up, down, right? Let's convert this array into down, up, down. So this is down, up, down. Then this is sort of down, down, up, up, right? And when you're deleting 7, which basically means this is getting deleted, right? And then you are kind of adding a down arrow in between them, right? When you delete something in terms of trend, what is happening? When you delete this, it's like deleting this interaction, and there is a down. And now you have to select the best alternate length in this. Like if you find this is the best length, then the answer is like 4. Like if the length is 3, then the length is 4, right? That is what is happening here, right? And I can think of it in a little different way. I'll just give you a little like idea. I'm using the same idea that like actually suggesting, because it's a little easier. Also another idea I'll share that's a very good idea, and I could have solved this with k deletes. Suppose you can delete k elements. uh, how would you solve the problem? Let's make this problem a little more interesting. Suppose you can delete k elements, right? Suppose you can delete k elements from the nums. What is the best alternating subarray you can create? Let's make the problem a little more fun, because this is a 6 pointer. Let's make it 7 pointer. Let's say you can delete 7 elements from the sum. What is the best length you can create, right? That should fail whatever prefix suffix idea you are using, right, Jasmus? I guess. I mean, it's only possible if you have only one delete element. So let me tell you for one delete, at most one delete, and then we can do for n deletes. So when you have 7, this is the array that is getting formed in terms of decrease, increase, decrease, 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 increase, increase. And in this, we need to find longest alternate array. And that can be done in O of n. If you think about it, that can be done in O of n, that there is a decrease, decrease, increase. So current running length is, let's say, 0. Then this is decrease, so 1, then 2, then 3, right? But then this is not matching. It should have been increased. So then this portion ends, and then a new portion starts, 1 length. And this is not matching. So this closes, and there is a new length, 1. Then this 2, and then this is not matching. So this is again 1. So you can partition it on alternate sequences that are matching. For example, this portion is alternate. Then this is not matching with the last alternate. So this is an independent alternate. And this is also not matching with this, because, okay, this can match with potentially this, like you can match it like this. But yeah, this decrease is not matching with increase essentially. So I don't want to like club this here. It's clubbing in this length. Okay. Right. This is there. And then I can do something like this. And then this is also possible. Like these are the different sequences that are possible. So it's better to see in this alternate wala thing. Okay. Somebody saying binary search. I'm not. For you, everything is standard. No. I think for me, 7 pointer thing should look standard. When I say, so I know that this might sound very weird when I'm saying this, but like when I say standard means there are similar problems that has been asked. How many of you, there has been LeetCode weekly contest questions only on this alternating sequence. True. How many of you say true? There has been some question. I don't recall which contest, which name. Probably some of you can help me there. But there has been this alternate sequence kind of problem before in LeetCode Weekly and LeetCode contest, and I have taken that in live stream, right? And I have told this kind of an idea that you can see in this kind of realm to solve those kind of problems. So some people come and say, Vivek, standard matlab kya? Standard matlab, because you have seen a lot of problems. So for me, I have seen similar idea before. That's called standard. Non-standard means I have to think from scratch. This was non-standard for me. This I did not memorize the solution for this question that I discussed earlier. This I did not know. Okay, this I just did right now, and that's non-standard for me. Okay. Standard non-standard मतलब होता है कि मुझे देखा हुआ ट्रिक है या नहीं है, and फिर उसमें डिफिकल्टी होती है. If something is even non-standard but 1600, I should be able to solve it because I'm 2100, right? Something like that. So that's a different thing. Okay, but standard, non-standard, and then rating in that difficulty is what kind of dictates can you solve that problem or not, right? Same one change means prefix suffix idea, more problems, CACS flight discount. Let's see, let's have a look at it if that's the same. A similar problem is also there in AZ also, but it's in later section. What is the name of the problem you are saying? Flight discount. Okay, let me look at it. Okay. This is, oh, Akash, yeah, right. This is something we discussed in one of the recent graph classes also, right? That you maintain a state when you are using this pricing thing. Yeah. This is a different thing. This is maintaining the state. Yeah. That if you have halved it or not. You can do the similar kind of DP here also. I'll explain. Okay. So how do we solve this problem? Let's, like the binary search works if the length of n is but delete, like, why do you do a binary search when the check itself is the same question? Check to wahi ho gaya na ki kitna length possible hai ki nahi. How will you check the length? Same thing only you'll compute. We'll see the DP solution. So for deleting one element, there can be two cases. When you delete something, the best answer can be somewhere here, like values are all, like this is a big array, right? When you delete this element, the best can lie somewhere here, the best can lie somewhere here, or the best can be that there is an alternate sequence happening till this element, and then it decreases to this element, and then there is a new alternate sequence like this. Clear, everyone? These are the only three things that can possibly happen. How many of you agree? These are like when you delete something, either the best that you have found in the prefix, best you have found in the suffix, or matching this end point. Like for this end, what is the best alternate sequence that starts, like goes in the suffix side and prefix side? Is this what will match here? Yes or no? So what we can do is calculate like best ending at I, which will tell me what is the best zigzag ending at index I. Like if this is value 5 and what is the best length that ends at I, the length of that we will calculate in a separate array, and best start at I. This is what we will calculate, that what is the best zigzag thing that starts at I, right? How do you calculate it? Suppose you want to calculate best end at I. So if the ith element is 5 and this is, let's say, 7, you can understand that this is downwards, and we can maintain a 0,1 also if you really want to add the flavor key. Oh, it was an increase or a decrease or something like that. But you can actually, the trick here is you can just maintain that what is the best sequence in the up direction, and that should either it will be up or down. So best ending at I, if it is down, so check if this was like 2 and it was up, then only you will add best at I minus 1 plus 1. Or if it was also down, then the best ending at I is only length 2. You can try to understand from the previous element if the zigzag is there, or you can maintain a 0, 1 also. Yeah, or we can find the diff vector and apply this. That's actually a very good idea. A better way of implementing all this stuff and with a clean thing, which I was kind of doing here. This is called diff. Like basically, you subtract the difference. 2 minus 1. This is 3, 2. I'll make this a little smaller. Let's say 3, and I'll make this 5. Okay, just for illustration purposes. So difference between this is 3, difference between this is 2, difference between this is minus, like this minus this, minus 4, difference between this is 2, difference between this and this is like minus 4. Okay. In this array, you need to find the, like, what is alternating here? It's like positive, negative, positive. Is that what alternate in the original array means? Positive, negative, positive. This will create an alternate sequence. And then again positive, so we cannot take this. See, this is not an alternate anymore. So if you convert it into difference array, or just this sign 0, 1 should be enough as well. Like, is it increase or decrease? That's all. Like if you maintain this as 0, 1 also, like positive, negative, positive, positive, negative, positive, negative. You just need to find the longest alternating sequence in this. This is the problem. And if you find 3 length, then in the original array, the answer is 4. No, why 2 diff array? Why 2 diff array? There's only 1 diff array, right? So this is the diff array, and in this you need to find the longest alternating sequence. Oh, I can find a better alternating sequence, by the way. This is a better. So the answer here is 4, which means answer here is 5. See, 5, 7, 3, 5, 1. So answer is 5. Clear, everyone? How to find the answer in O of n first for a normal array without delete? Without delete, everyone clear. Convert this to a difference array, and in fact, it's only sign that positive or negative. And then in that, you have to find the longest 0, 1 array. Is this possible? If the final diff array is all 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will be 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, in that case, the answer should be 1, and the answer here is 2, no? With delete, we can force deletion at index and check right, left. Yeah, right, correct. Yeah, so in this, find the longest alternating sequence and do a +1 to get the longest length in the original array. Is this, so from the original array, if this element is bigger than the previous, 1. If this element is bigger than, not bigger, so 0. Bigger, yes. Bigger, yes. Smaller, 0. Bigger, yes. Smaller, 0. In this array, you need to find the longest 1, 0, 1, 0 array, or a 0, 1, 0, 1 array. Longest, something like this. And that you can find using a simple O of n pass. Like 1, is it a 0? Length increase 1. So it will start a new sequence here, because these two can't be in the same sequence. 0, 1, 0. Right? Clear, everyone? Now, in case of equal, we should keep something as well, right? Yeah, I guess I haven't really considered the case when things are equal. So in that case, you can break the array only, that those two sides can never be matched together. Yeah, but you can keep a 2 for equal, and like it's not allowed to take 2 altogether, right? If they are equal, like 5 and 5, the result is something like 2, and you cannot take 2, something like that. You can manage. Yeah, correct. You can take -1, 0, and 1 if they are same, if it's decreasing or increasing. And in this case, you have to find just -1, 1 alternating. But this, yeah, like you'll have to keep the 2 here. Yeah, makes sense. Now, this is just for the O and O of n case. Now we'll continue to delete wala thing, right? So when you are deleting one, what you can do is what we were doing here. Best ending at I, like in this array, suppose there is a 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, right? This was the original array, right? This was the original array. And let me write the original array here as well. 1, 3, 2, 5, 7, 3, 5, 1. This is how you create the difference array, right? Yeah, so you can use, like, if they are equal, you can just maintain some sort of 2, and 2 cannot be taken in the order. So you need to solve the answer here. Now, if you suppose delete this 5, what is happening? These two elements are getting deleted, and instead of that, you are getting a 1 in between. Okay. So now what you need to check is in this new array, what is the best length of alternating sequence? And you can see, if you could have somehow computed that the best alternating here is 2 and the best alternating starting from here was 3, and if you just deleted, you could have seen that this will become a 1. And can you combine with this? Yes. Can you combine with this? Yes. So the total length that you could have made was 6, right? For every delete, you can maintain the best ending here and the best starting here. You can maintain these two things: best start at I and best end at I. The 0, 1 will not be required in the diff array. If you maintain that, when you delete something, you know that two elements getting, like if I is getting deleted in the diff array, this is the index I, this is I minus 1. These two are going to get deleted. So at I minus 2, what is the best length ending there? At I plus 1, what is the best length starting there? And see if you can, like, what is the new symbol you can combine with this, you can combine with this or not. Only when you, so my understanding is somebody who can solve this O of n version and can see this realm transform, like, which is, instead of seeing the array, instead of seeing this array, you should see this 0, 1 array. You should be able to solve this problem. I mean, anybody who can convert this visualization into this visualization can solve this question even for one delete. But somebody who cannot think first this transformation only is the, like, you will find it extremely difficult to solve the delete version anymore, right? And I'm assuming right now that neighbors are not same. As an exercise, you can solve the problem with neighbors being same. It's just introducing a 2 or some character like that. Okay, understood? Is this part clear to everyone, that how to handle these deletes? One delete. Okay, now let's take a question that, given an array, again the same question, given an array like 1, 3, in this case, like, we got the answer already, so it doesn't need to do anything. Some array 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 3, right? If you can delete two elements, I mean, you can delete any two, it will not help us. I'm just trying to create some good case. It just seems like some, yeah, this is already deleted. So if you can delete, so the question is, I'm like unable to frame a question right now. Let's create 1, 3, 1, 5, 7, 2, 1, right? Suppose you can delete k up to 10 to the, like, k up to n elements, right? No, I think k will have to be in state, right? Of course, you cannot do it up to 10 to the power 5. I think that's extremely hard. So suppose the question says, given an array, you can delete k elements. This will come in some LeetCode weekly. Yeah, order n into k you should be able to solve, I guess. So 3 5000 5000 something like that, maybe, I don't know. So the question is, given n comma k, n is the size of the array and k is, let's say, equal to 2, how many elements can be deleted? What is the longest alternating sequence that you can build? id, direction, and delete. Direction, no, this will not work actually. I don't know, like, I don't think this should be possible. Right. Yeah, my brain is saying that I need to know what is the previous wala thing. That is what you need to keep track. So we are just solving an open-ended problem. There's like no solution to this. I don't know a solution right now. As I'll probably figure it out. मतलब ऐसे complexity क्यों, मतलब ऐसे सोचना, मतलब you have to solve it. So the thing is, when you delete something, you need to know like what is going on till last point, and can you combine, like, this is there and can you combine this with this or not, right? Even if it was decrease, this value matters, because can you combine with this or not, it will depend on the value. अगर ये decrease भी है तो ये value matter करेगा, right? So what you need to maintain, like, at any point, if you want to concatenate it at the end of something else, you will need to know the previous value, right? And what was the direction, like decrease or increase, so that if this was decrease, then you should be able to increase it only, or else you cannot concatenate it, right? And like I can do a O of n square kind, O of n into k square kind of dp. I'm trying to think a O of n square k kind of dp. I'm trying to think. uh, yeah, I'm trying to think of, don't think of values 10 to the power 5 है. Think of best constraints that you can solve it in. ये कैसा है? ये values 10 to the power 5 है. You will not get values in interviews also, by the way. So in this sequence, basically the question says we have to build a sequence which is alternating in its nature. And just like, I'll try to approach it just like Elias, that I want to figure out for this element, what is the best decrease thing that I've found till now with values smaller than this. Maybe something of that sort I'm trying to look for, right? Yeah. Essentially, it's almost like an Elias problem. And I'm trying to think, how can I do it without much of optimization? Because I don't want to introduce a data structure. I think I can throw in some multi-stage DP and it should be able to solve the problem. That wherever, like, either I'm not taking something, I will start taking something and I will close it. And in between this, I only have two choices. That this is stage 2. In this, I have only two choices. Either I'll have to delete it only, right? Or I can just discard it. There is a free discard here. Free discard. When I am in the stage 1, I will have to either delete using my capacity, or I will have to like take it in the alias. Right. So I'll try to form the DP like this. DP at index I, which stage of DP I am in, whether I am in 0, whether I am in 1, or whether I am in 2, right? Stage of DP in which I am. This is called multi-stage DP. You can check a video on my YouTube channel. And what was the last element that I have taken, and whether that was a decrease or an increase, right? I'm trying to optimize a data structure here because data structures are very complex and I don't want to get into too much of data structure. So this is a n, this is a k, this is a 3, this is a 2. As long as I'm able to do this, stage means you are not taking in sequence things right now. You are taking in the sub, so this element will be part of the subsequence, and stage 2 is not part of subsequence, right? This is called multi-stage DP, and I've made a video on YouTube on this. Like, this is one trick that I use to optimize a lot of problems where actually there is some data structure required, but you can just stage the problem and then solve the problem, right? Basically, how will the thing look? Like when you have the original array, how will the final array look? You will be taking some alternate sequence, some delete, delete, some alternate delete, delete, right? This is how the final array looks like. Delete, some alternate, delete, alternate, right? Something like this. So whatever. So if you're deleting something, let's say this much is your selection zone. This is free zone 1. This is zone 2. This is zone 0, zone 1, zone 2. Here, any element you might not include in your DP's final answer, in your answer that you are building. Once you transition to stage 1, means you will take the element in your answer or you will discard it by paying a cost. And then when you move to transition 2, then you cannot take any element anymore. So what I can write is DP of I stage last delete increase, right? Which stage I am. So when I am, let's say I am in DP of I am at stage 0 and I have not taken anything. So some like dash dash, it doesn't matter what you keep here, right? I'm stage 0, right? What I can possibly do is at this element, I have a free, like this element, I have not taken element as of now. So what I can go into is DP of I plus 1, but thereafter I will start taking elements. Or I can, for the next element, I can also like ensure that I'll not take it in my current answer, right? It doesn't matter. Like last, like this is, instead of this, still have to add one more thing. Doesn't help me. Value and k matters. The stage is not helping me to decide between delete or not. My answer will be I still have to maintain where is my last. Yeah, thinking in ending form is just easy because it's not helping me to optimize. Because I need to know the last element, whether it was decrease or increase. I am thinking about it. The stage should be helpful. But the thing is, whenever I'm taking, like if I've deleted some element, I need to know if I can, like if this, even if this was decrease, I need to know the last element. And I need to know how many deletes are left. So it will be I comma stage comma left. It will just defeat the purpose. We cannot optimize this further. Yeah. So instead we'll just simply, I was trying to frame it and optimize it further with form 1, but I think it's not gonna possible. So in this, we'll go to form 2. What is the best alternating sequence ending at I with k, with at most k deletes? What is the best subsequence ending at I with at most k deletes, right? So DP of I comma k will tell me what is the best DP of I comma k comma 2. DP of I comma k comma 2 will tell me what is the best sequence, like decrease or increase here. What is the best sequence ending at I with k deletes and last thing being a decrease, right? Yeah, this is exactly k deletes, you can say. I mean, if you just make it max with dp of I comma k minus 1 comma, because it will automatically give you at most, so it doesn't matter much. Like if you just max it with that, if you just allow a user the function to throw one delete for free, then it doesn't matter if you're doing exactly k or at most k, right? Like if you just add the transition that you can go to this state, cause for lighter indices we don't know how many deletes left if pair and ij. So if you no, so if you are here and if you are pairing the j, you have to delete, like if you are pairing this with this, you have to delete these many elements in between, right? So you must have that many like that much in your capacity to delete essentially, right? So the transition will look like dp of I comma k comma, let's say increase, that at the I will increase. We will go through all j, like max across all j, dp of j comma k minus I minus j minus 1. This many deletes will be needed to delete the elements in between, comma this much. So this much is the number of deletes left thereafter, and here you must have increased so that, so sorry, uh, here you must have decreased, so this will be as 1, and only j's where arr of j is less than arr of increase, yeah, arr of I are valid, right? You just find this max across all, right? Max across this, and dp of I comma k comma 1 would be just same thing. I'll just copy paste. With this condition being flipped, and this will be 0 because you're deleting elements in between, right? Someone is saying that, okay, so exactly k and at most k, I just feel you can just allow at the base case that, like you can just take a single element even if there are more deletes left, and that should solve the problem depending on the question. You don't need to make like the question was saying at most k deletes, right? So I'll just keep the same state. Why to make it more complex by exactly k and then take a running max and all? I think it will be easier if you do this way only, and at the base case just allow some extra lefts to be thrown off, right? Or you can, at any point in time, you can just take 1, right? This is base, this is base, right? As long as this is greater than equal to 0, as long as this is greater than equal to 0. Plus 1, plus 1. The length should be plus 1. Clear, everyone? This is how you would form the dp, and this is a O of n. Like here, there is an n, k, 2, and there is O of n transition here. So the formula is number of states into 1 plus number of transitions. That would be 2 into n into k into 1 plus n. So this will be a O of n square k solution. Now I'm just trying to think, with this in the state and this max being found, it's very difficult to like optimize this further. Maybe some data structure will have to think about it. It's a good problem, but probably at least we have a solution that can solve this. Now, can we just take two j's previous smaller and previous greater for sufficient I? We need all j. Yeah, true. I was gonna say that. Like I was gonna say that this is actually a good optimization that you can possibly do. That if you find for an element just bigger than it before it, an element just smaller than it before it, whatever the best you could do till these, isn't that what you will try to use? But what if you delete it and then you might get something better? I don't know. Like we'll have to take some casework. I'm not doing that casework right now because we have more problems to take. But we'll have to see, like, if only the bests work here, only the best previous smaller and previous greater help or this. Okay. But this dp solution should be O of n square k, which is a good enough solution for getting a solution first. Then you can try and solve, right? So this is almost like an extension of LIS problem. If you have solved LIS, then this is a k being added in the LIS, with this being for alternation. alternation. If you have attended the classes and all DP workshop, you'd understand that states come from restrictions. Alternate this 0 1 thing being added here. You can delete k things, deletes added in the problem, it is adding this extra state. And the rest of the problem is just an alias problem. Okay. So this is how we could have solved the problem. I think we have spent a lot of time on this contest only. I don't know how many more we'll be able to take. Let's move to the next problem. We are just solving this problem with instead of at most 1, at most k elements you can delete. Yeah. The previous j gives better value, but the question is like, if like there is a very small lower here, like if this is the previous smaller, would it not make sense to get this one so that the following alternation is possible? Maybe ending here there is no best, I don't know, we'll have to think about it. But like forcing the previous smaller and previous greater might not be the best idea. Okay. Let me first connect my charger. Maybe there will be some way of optimizing this. I'll have to think about it. But already we are in a variation. Let's not go too further. Okay, let's move to biweekly. We'll look at the we'll look at the last problem. Longest increasing array. Let's see. Longest increasing subsequence with non-zero bitwise and very nice problem. So for a particular bit, it will be on. So basically, given an array, I need to find the longest increasing subsequence whose bitwise and is non-zero. So my strategy would be to figure out which bit will be 1, take all the numbers which has that bit as 1, and just calculate the alias in n log n. That should solve the problem. For every bit, pick only the numbers that has that bit as 1, because if that bit comes in the final and of all the numbers, I'll just pick that, like force that bit and then n log n alias problem. This problem, how to find alias in n log n, there is a very good video on my YouTube channel. Please watch it, how to find alias of an array in n log n. The trick in this problem was that if you want to force bitwise and to be non-zero, then some bit will be 1. Loop on all possible bits कि ये bit अगर 1 हुआ तो best alias क्या है, ये bit 1 हुआ तो best alias क्या है, right? इतना easily कैसे कर दिया? Because इसका बहुत hard versions भी मैंने कर रखा है इसीलिए, right? मतलब sometimes I understand that किसी student का ऐसा लगता है विवेक आपके क्वेश्चन याद करके आते हो, right? It is not like that actually. ठीक है? This is actually very easy for me because this type of problems we have solved. If you see the bit manipulation section of AZ, there's like very hard versions of bit manipulation problems, and probably we would have solved something of that sort. I have no idea of that. I don't think there's any separate self-paced thing as of now. Bitwise and is non-zero and subsequent exists, returns 0. How do we make it harder? I don't know. Let's move to the next problem for now. Why this way? No, if we take only elements that have 1 in that bit, then कुछ भी sequence लोगे, subsequence लोगे, उसका वो bit तो on होगा ही ना, because you are only considering the elements that has that bit 1. Suppose there is an array with 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1. तो हमें ये bit suppose 1 चाहिए, जो भी हम subsequence बनाएंगे उसमें finally ये bit मुझे 1 चाहिए. तो I can only take this element, this element, this element. तो इसको discard कर दो, and between these elements find the alias. जो भी number है, like I don't know what is the number, 5 6 5, इसका alias 2 है, तो इस bit को 1 रखते हुए best length you can make is 2. Because and का 1, अगर ये bit 1 होना चाहिए, तो you have to take these elements only which has 1 in that, in bitwise property. Okay. Okay, maximum partition score. So given this partition, number of minimum possible score of partition is sum of its value of a subsquare. The value of the subarray is defined as sum of array into sum of array plus 1 divided by 2. Oh, so we have some sort of prefix sum expression here, and we need to optimize for that. Okay, so I guess if you guys have solved this commando problem on Spoj, you should be able to solve this problem, I guess. अगर तुम I से लेकर के I plus K को एक यूनिट बनाओगे, then the effectiveness is ax square plus bx plus c. So given an array, how would you make the units is the question. Okay, I think there is a CACS version also of this problem. I have made an advanced series जहाँ पर मैंने CACS के advanced problem solve किए, and in that there should be some GP वाला thing also. I don't remember now कि क्या solve किया था मैंने. DP optimization कहाँ गया? Subarray squares. Okay, subarray squares. Yeah, you will find there is, so earlier they had a little different structure, and there is a video on my YouTube channel called optimization problems or advanced problems. अरे we have to use मत करो. एक editorial देख लिया और एक दो post देख लिया तो have to use मत करो. समझो how did we reached there. We have to use करके क्या होता है दुनिया में. So you are given n elements. You have to divide it into k subarrays. The cost of each subarray is the square of sum of the values. Sum of the value ka square. Isn't it similar to the problem that is there at hand? Sum of the values का स्क्वायर प्लस सम ऑफ द वैल्यू बाई 2 बोला है क्वेश्चन में. Isn't it? This question is saying that you have to divide this. Let's read this problem again and let's read this problem. This is saying that you have to divide it into k subarrays such that the cost of each, the sum, the value of each square is sum of the subarray square plus sum of the subarray whole by 2. Okay. So we will solve the general version, right? Let's say the question says, Vivek, you are given some ax square plus bx plus c, right? Suppose there is, in this question, they have given this function, right? But suppose you are given some other function, like, can we form f of x is equal to this? Okay. If I put a equal to half, b equal to half, c equal to 0, will we get x square by 2 plus x by 2, which is nothing but x into x plus 1 by 2? Will we get this same expression, yes or no, in terms of sum of square? ये लोग डीएनसी ऑप्टिमाइजेशन कहां से तुम लोग मतलब एडिटोरियल रट के आ रहे हो क्या? मतलब कैसे, मतलब पता तो है नहीं तुम्हें डीएनसी ऑप्टिमाइजेशन कैसे काम कर रहा है. मतलब ये कैसे रट रहे हो तुम लोग ऐसे डीएनसी ऑप्टिमाइजेशन होगा इस प्रॉब्लम. मतलब लाइक रटो मत. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाई इज दिस वर्किंग. ओके, एंड दिस इज द फंक्शन दैट वी आर डीलिंग विथ राइट नाउ. ओके, ट्राई टू डिराइव. मतलब अभी तक क्वेश्चन देखा भी नहीं है. आई एम नॉट इवन टेकिंग फॉर दिस. Okay, yes, send me that. I'll showcase the code if you have written. You have used CHT. Okay, so here we are given an array and we have to partition it into subarrays where each subarray's cost, you find its sum and you plug it into this function, and whatever value you get, that is the cost. You will cost it for all the things and then sum it up. You have to minimize that value. Is that the question? First, everyone agree. This is the question. What is the minimum possible score where you break it into k partitions? You find each partition score by getting its sum, putting it in this function. Whatever you get, you will sum that for all subarrays and you have to minimize the sum. Okay. So this is whenever you see that you have an array and you have to partition, I have told this n number of times on my DP workshop video, also on my YouTube, as well as in the course, that this is a DP form 2 problem. Partition dikha do form 2, right? So basically you will write DP of I comma k. What is the best way to partition 0 to I with k partitions, right? And then in this case you can loop till j. Let's say this is your j. You will find what is the minimum cost to partition 0 to I with k parts. So if I take some j and such that I to j plus 1 is the last partition, then you have to minimize dp of 0 to j, sorry, just j, 0 to j only is there, right? With k minus 1 partitions, if you had to make k partitions, एक partition यहाँ है, तो यहाँ पर कुछ k minus 1 partitions होगा. I don't know where it is. So this is dp of j minus k, plus you will get a score of this, which is nothing but some function of prefix sum of I minus prefix sum of j. Is this the case? The sum of the subarray is nothing but prefix sum of I minus prefix sum of j, if this is index j. Clear, everyone? dp of I comma k is minimum of all j's. This. Now, if you loop on j, there is O of n transitions, and this is n into k states. You have a O of n square k solution already for this problem. But then you look at the constraints and you see, oh, n and k's are fairly high. So you have n and k as up to 1000. And if you put them here, you will get 10 to the power 9, which means we have to optimize it further. Okay. Now, yeah, I think what you have suggested is very good. Like, one thing that we can first solve, forget this function. What if it would have been just the sum of the subarray? यहाँ पर sum का square wire कुछ था. What if you have just a sum? How would you solve this? Then we could have, this is actually also one of like standard problems, like some buy and sell stock. You can, this is almost a version of buy and sell stock, right? That you can basically look at this prefix of I is fixed. When you loop on j, change क्या हो रहा है? dp of j comma k minus 1 minus p of j, इसका हमें मिनिमम निकालना है. एंड प्लस p of I हम इसको बाहर निकाल सकते हैं यहां पर. करेक्ट? यस और नो? And if you see in the dp table, when you are calculating for I comma k, dp of I will actually make, I'll actually draw it a little differently just so that you can see it in layered way. I mean, it's the same thing. J can be before I. So if you are calculating I comma k, I minus 1, I minus 2, ये सब j का वैल्यू हो सकता है. j कहीं यहां पर होगा and k minus 1 लेवल पे होना पड़ेगा. Out of all this, whatever minus their own pj's, like ये जो j वैल्यू है, ये जो dp वैल्यूज है in the dp table, minus their pj वैल्यूज, सब पे अपना अपना j अलग अलग है, सब पे pj subtract कर दो. Out of these you have to find the minimum. After, in this part, you have to subtract p of j for each element and you have to find the minimum. Suppose you calculate that. Now to calculate this, you have to do the same thing from this plus this one more element minus p of j for that element. So we can maintain some sort of running like the minimum of this value as you are going forward in this layer. To calculate this, इस ऊपर वाले layer का minimum maintain कर लो. Or you can calculate some prefix min, something like that in the previous layer. This is a DP optimization problem. Okay, this is how you could have solved this problem if this was normal. Now the question given to us, this would have been a 6-pointer probably, or 5-pointer, I don't know, because similar problems are there on LeetCode. Now, just because in this problem, you have some function here, and that function, let's say, is just square for now, x square. This is just the square here. Okay, so in that case we can open this function more, j comma k minus 1 plus p of I whole square minus 2 pi pj plus p of j whole square. Okay, this is how the square will open. Now see, again we have to find the minimum of this. This time you can see this is constant, and this is again similar trick to the last problem, that p of j was dependent on j only, so we can do some sort of minimum. But there is this weird term here which is dependent on both I and j, which you cannot just do directly with iteration as simply as we did in the last case, that oh, I could, like for I comma j, I could compute some minimum in the previous layer and I would have been able to do with this, right? So this is why this problem is a little harder, and we need even harder optimization for it. And as some of you might have read, DNC optimization or like Kunuth optimization, sorry, not Kunuth optimization, convexal optimization. These things are used for solving such kind of expressions, right? So what you do is you figure out that this is nothing but p of I square plus minimum of dp of j comma k minus 1 plus p of j whole square minus 2 pi pj, right? And now you see that this is like finding p of I whole square plus minimum of m p of I plus c. Out of all j's, there are a lot of lines mx plus c, where m is equal to, sorry, my mistake, minus two pj, and c is equal to dp of j comma k minus 1 plus p of j whole square. Whenever you have something like this, that in a dp expression you need to calculate across a lot of j's, there are, for every j there will be some slope multiplied by something plus something. A lot of these equations of straight lines are there. You can find this minimum in faster than O of n, in specifically log n, using something called as convex hull trick. And I'll show you what is convex hull trick. This is, you should not learn DNC. DNC is a 2600 rated, 2500 plus rated problems. For example, I'll show you DP optimization code forces. I'll just show you there are some specific optimization like convexal optimization 1, right? See, if you see here, there is like this kind of an expression, and you can actually deal with just this. Okay, just this much. Yeah, you can use monotone wala also, it's fine, but any version should be fine. It was 1000 only, so a login should not hurt you. So there are these 4 optimizations. This is the optimization that you should only know as of, in my opinion, because all the problems of 2 onwards, like seal and gondola, all these DNC problems that are there, like I think if you open this, this should be okay. NK leaves is there. I think seal and gondola will also be a problem. Okay, they have, so these are 2400, 2500 rated problems, right? These are fairly hard problems, and I don't suggest you guys to do for this. But this first optimization, CHT, this is something that you guys can definitely read more about, and you should be able to solve these kind of problems. Like, I'll just show you. These kind of problems are 2100 rated, so in the scope. So when you have a bunch of lines, how to find the minimum using them, out of them, there is this trick called CHT. See, you read this problem, APIO commando. This is the problem that I opened just now on Spoj. When I wrote Spoj commando, this is the problem that opens. And this is a convexal problem. Okay. So how to deal with this? You basically create this expression, and there is a slope and some p, and then you put the first variant, second variant here. There's some theory for this. You have to read about this. This is a technique. unless you know this. Yeah, I have taught DP optimizations to a certain level, but this is a 2100 rated problem. I have not taught this. I have taught this on in video, but not in this form. So I'd say no. But optimizations I have covered a lot, and this is something I've mentioned. CHT is just relevant. I would say it's not relevant, but like highest end of problem like might have CHT. Mostly it will not. There's like a 0.1% chance. It's not relevant for OA. It's a 2100 rated technique. So CHT is a 2100 2000 rated technique. Convex what you guys were coming to with me, DNC optimization, it's a 2400 rated problem technique or 2500 rated technique. And alien trick is also almost a 2300 2400 rated technique. You have other optimizations. There is something called as Kruth optimization, which is I think 2100 rated technique. There is a technique called 1D 1D DP, which is a 2200 rated technique. There are more such ideas that exist, which is specific to certain grade of problems, but I don't think you need to learn all these things. Okay. OS की max difficulty LeetCode 6 pointer है. Very rarely it goes higher. Quadrangle inequality is a different thing. It's just a condition whether something will apply or not. Quadrangle inequality is a different thing. It is written in this blog. You can read this blog called just search dynamic programming optimization. It's a 13-year-old blog. And what you're talking about is quadrangle inequality is different thing. This is there. This is this. Okay. Okay. Great. So this is a convex hull problem. You will have to use convex hull problem. And if you read this blog, you should be able to understand what it's trying to do. I think there are some good videos on YouTube as well on convex hull optimization. Like let's go ahead and let's search some good material for you all. I'll recommend DP convex hull optimization. I don't think I have taught it. Yeah, you can search from some videos that are there online. I think it's there in your it's there in AdCoder educational contest also. Okay. Yeah, educational contest last problem, frog 3, I think, if I remember correctly. If I remember the question name correctly, frog 3 was the problem that also has convexual optimization in it. I'm having Just Pay OA near future in this month and not announced yet. Any tips? देख लो यार, Just Pay का there is a common question on LeetCode. Make sure that you prepare for that. Achha, if you want to see the code of this of Laksh, I'll just share it with you all. I'll share all the fourth problem that we are discussing today with you all in the Telegram. So there's a Telegram link which is I think pinned for you all. I don't know. Let me check once quickly. Yeah, I'll share the like Laksh, who is Jasimus on the chat, his code on the Telegram link and is you all. Okay. Okay. बनाने तो वाला था. I want to make a online judge for this, but will it will be more around system design a little bit, so maybe, but not the way people are building कि AI डाल के बस reply दे दिया. But yeah, tips, just started DP. There are multiple levels. First, understand what is DP from some videos. Then maybe go through some classic LeetCode problems. Maybe watch some YouTube videos for that. Then come to my DP workshop, and then you will learn level 3 level DP. And then if you want to go to level 4, then you need to learn all this stuff. So that's the track order. I guess level 3, level 4 onward in India, if you want to learn, I think you will find that kind of content mostly on my channel and few more, very few more other, mostly non-Indian. Yeah. At Coder Educational DP contest, at Coder Educational DP contest, and CSCS DP. I think that's like go to practice for most people. I think I've covered both of them on my YouTube channel, more or less. Okay, great. So we have covered this. I don't know if we will have time. I have. Like, I'll quickly brush through weekly. Like this is last year, last contest, last contest. I think for those who are here, probably in the next meet, I'll call Laksh on meet. Okay, Laksh will teach some of the problems because so by the way, if you don't know Laksh, he has been streaming. He has been a former student, but he's now helping in doubt solving in AZ, and he's also like streaming a lot of solutions on YouTube. I'll share his like LinkedIn. I think you can get it. Share it here also. And he's also streaming solutions of LeetCode, like his streams of LeetCode solving. So you can do that. Yeah, biweekly already done now. I'll just look at the last problem. Okay, so I'll let you all. Jasimus, your link to YouTube quickly on in the chat. I'll send it in Telegram. If you guys want a discussion, like watch Jasimus on the chat or Lux solving this problem, I'll send the link on the Telegram group. You can watch him solving and also connect with him. I've shared his Telegram link, LinkedIn link as well. Okay. LeetCode 3-4 के लिए क्या करना चाहिए? I think CSCS, at Coder, and so on. From old IIT Unpleased. My rating is 2000 on LeetCode from IIT. Why? Very weak in development. What should I do? Should I do DSO or switch to development? I would say, like, my thesis is, if you are like, depending on where you are, I would say, I think I should say, like, I have covered this multiple times. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. DSA, dev. Level 1 is essentially doing C++. In dev, knowing HTML, CSS, JS, and so on. GitHub. And level 2 in DSA would be to do some sort of sheet and all, right? Some sheet or some YouTube playlist and something like that. Or maybe what I would say is solve LeetCode 150 problems, right? Classic 150 problems, and understand what are the topics. Do some theoretical course of Algo, DS, some IIT course from some like maybe NPTEL and all. And on the dev side, like learn one full stack tech, right? Then in DSA, the next level would be to come to LC and do the third and fourth problem, and go to CF and try to reach 1600 plus. Maybe also start preparing for, like, I think level 4 would be to aim for ICPC and IICPC, these kind of contests. Jasimus is a student. Okay. Yeah, I'll pin his message. This is the link @LakshG, right? And dev site, you have to be fully fledged. You should be very good at but I am getting IIT KGP economics, but due to wrong choice I got NIT Jaipur CSE. Is my career over? नहीं यार, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Career over तो तुम्हारे हाथ में ही है. It all depends not on the choices, but college में जाके तुम कैसे choices लोगे उसके ऊपर. ठीक है. And on this side, I would say here you would stand with GSOC, and here on this track you'd reach somewhere around, I can build and deploy a decent production grade software in 2 days. And I can, so speed is definitely one factor. Cloud, understanding of cloud or AWS is one thing. You have to put in your own credit card and start playing with AWS a little bit, and not pay on the last day and close the account. Understanding a little bit of DevOps, a little bit of CI/CD, understanding a little bit of advanced dev concepts. Right. This is what I would say the whole spectrum looks like. Okay, whole spectrum of prep looks like in terms of dev and software engineering at this point in time. And this is level one, bare minimum of employability. This is bare minimum. This is nowadays bare minimum. Every person in India is solving some sheet, watching YouTube playlist. Everybody knows MERN stack, everybody knows one stack. ठीक है, तो ये bare minimum. HLD LLD तो यहाँ पर आते लगता है धीरे धीरे. Like this side I would say HLD LLD would be coming in, but that's a prep thing. Like you can prep HLD LLD in like last 1 month or so if you really want to, right? And now from here forward you should try to, like, once you reach this, if you are not here तो नहीं होगा. मतलब तुम यहाँ पर ऐसे भी हो बट इसका ये लेवल नहीं है तो नहीं होगा, राइट? लेवल 2 इज bare minimum, and every Indian who is looking for placement, looking for job has done this. मतलब anybody who is serious वो तो लेवल 2 तक करता ही है. तो in this tough market, how will you stand out from others? How will you stand out from others? क्योंकि तुम सोचो ना आज के टाइम पे कि कोई ऐसा होगा जिसने लीड कोड पे 200 प्रॉब्लम नहीं किए होंगे, बेसिक मर्न स्टैक के वीडियोस देख के प्रोजेक्ट में, कोई मतलब जो कंपटीशन में है भी, मतलब जो नहीं कर रहा है वो तो छोड़ ही दो, मतलब वो तो फिर अलग दुनिया में है. बट जिसको प्लेसमेंट चाहिए, जिसको जॉब चाहिए, उसमें कोई ऐसा होगा जिसने मर्न स्टैक नहीं सीखा होगा और जिसने 200-300 प्रॉब्लम लीड कोड पे नहीं की होंगे? ऐसा कोई होगा क्या इंडिया में आज के टाइम पे? So the only bet you can have is possibly leashing this or this. Reaching 4, like, I think 3-3 is a very good build. It's better than 4-2 in today's time, or equivalently to 2-4, I would say. And then you can go further, like कुछ भी और उससे खराब है. फंडामेंटल्स लाइक CBNS, अरे वो तो मैं बाकी सबका भी ट्रैक बना सकता हूँ, बट अब वो तो बेयर मिनिमम है. मतलब आज के टाइम पे बेयर मिनिमम का डेफिनेशन चेंज हो गया गाइस. आई डोंट नो इफ यू हैव रियलाइज्ड तुम कहां पर हो अभी, तुमने खुद को इंट्रोस्पेक्ट किया है, नहीं किया है. बट अगर तुम इसके ऊपर दोनों साइड पे नहीं हो, एंड जब मैं यहां पर बोल रहा हूं, मतलब ये नहीं कि पूरा पूरा एआई को देके कोड करा रहे हैं. मतलब यू शुड बी एबल टू टेल एन आंसर एंड मेक सम चेंजेस विदाउट एआई. आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट यू शुड बी एबल टू राइट फुल फ्लेजेड सॉफ्टवेयर, बट यू शुड बी एबल टू मेक चेंजेस विदाउट एआई. भैया इज गेट वर्थ? देखो यार, मुझे ऐसा ही लगता है कि इंडिया में ये जो नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्स देखते हैं, इट्स लाइक एन अनदर अपॉर्चुनिटी इन लाइफ इन सम डिग्री. कि मैंने एक बार मेरा अच्छा नहीं हुआ, किसी कॉलेज में मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिली, मुझे प्लेसमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिली, मैंने कॉलेज में टाइम वेस्ट कर दिया. सो पीपल लुक एट अपॉर्चुनिटीज लाइक गेट एंड ऑल, एंड ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर सम ग्रेट अपॉर्चुनिटीज इफ यू फाउंड आउट कि मेरे को ये नहीं करना था, कुछ और करना था. दैट्स आल्सो अ गुड वे. बट अगेन, तुम्हें वहां जाकर के भी, तुम गेट करके भी तुम IIT बॉम्बे एमटेक CSE भी ले लिए, तब भी तुम्हारा रेस यही रहेगा. कैट इज वर्थ इट, आई गेस. कैट इज, अगेन उसमें भी वही है, लाइक अनलेस यू रीच द एलिट इंस्टीट्यूट तो फिर फायदा नहीं है. आई थिंक अंकुर वारिकू मेड अ वेरी recent video, and you can watch it about IIMs and all, and you will understand that there are tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 IIMs there also, like similar for this, similar to IITs as well. And उसमें भी वही रहता है कि unless you reach to the same point similar to IITs, उसमें भी competition उतना ही है. Unless you reach there, I don't think there is much value to, like, you like, unless you find out कि यार मेरे को मतलब अपना कोडिंग नहीं करनी है and I want to go out somewhere, then it's a good option for sure. But then I don't think, then also you'll make, like, अगर मेरा पैसा ही मेरा मेट्रिक है और मुझे जॉब ही करनी है अच्छी, और मुझे लाइक अच्छी जगह पे पहुंचना अच्छी कंपनी में, तो then you'll have to figure out that. बट ऐसा नहीं है कि SDA पे आउट रैंक्स, या आई मीन यार अभी मैं एक कंपनी से बात कर रहा था, लाइक पे इन टेक इज क्रेजी इफ यू कैन डू गुड डेव, इफ यू आर लाइक, चलो मैं नंबर्स पे, मैं आई डोंट वांट टू गो इनटू नंबर्स एंड ऑल, बट देयर आर कंपनीज हायरिंग लाइक लेट्स से सीनियर इंजीनियर इन बैंगलोर, 5-6 इयर्स एक्सपीरियंस प्लस है, 1 करोड़ बेस तो तुम्हें मिल रहा है, मतलब अगर तुम वैसी जगह पे हो, अगर तुम वैसा टॉप नॉच स्किल रखते हो तो। बेस बोल रहा हूँ, स्टॉक्स एंड ऑल अलग, ऐसे स्टार्टअप्स है बहुत, 1.5 करोड़ भी मिल रहा है, या क्वाड आई एटसेट्रा पेज 1 to 1.5 करोड़ एज वेल, एग्जैक्टली। चलो मैं क्वांट कंपनीज को अगर हटा भी दूं कि इट्स नॉट फॉर दैट, और ये सब एमबीए में कभी मतलब तुम बहुत सारे कंपनी के सीईओ भी बन जाओगे तो शायद इतना मैच ना हो, मुश्किल है, अनलेस यू आर इन अ लाइक हेविली फंडेड स्टार्टअप के एकदम टॉप लेवल पोजीशन पे तुम नहीं हो, तब तक तुम 1.5 करोड़ क्रॉस नहीं कर पाओगे फॉर श्योर। आई थिंक दैट्स लाइक काइंड ऑफ सीलिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ बेस पे इन इंडिया। डीएम चेक स्लैक प्लीज, कुछ आई थिंक आई मैसेज यू ऑन द स्लैक, उस पर रिप्लाई किया था। ओके, आई मिस बैक। Why do people have same role have different salaries in tier 1 versus tier 3? Because the company's supply demand defines pay, market, everything. Also, it's not like if you are doing really good you don't get promoted fairly quickly. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत लोग अंडर एस्टिमेट करते हैं इस चीज को कि तुम कंपनी ज्वाइन करके अगर अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हो ना, कंपनी प्रमोशन दे देती है। एग्जैक्टली exactly. एज ए प्रीवियस स्टूडेंट यू डिडंट एक्सेप्ट माय लिंक्डइन रिक्वेस्ट, तो स्लैक पे भेजो भाई, इधर क्या भेज रहे हो, स्लैक पे भेजो मुझे अपना लिंक्डइन का लिंक, तो मैं एक्सेप्ट करूंगा ना फिर। आई हैव अमेजन लास्ट राउंड, नीड योर ब्लेसिंग भैया, चलो बेस्ट ऑफ लक। क्वेश्चन 4, 486, we have I have sent that uh, Lakshya's link, he has discussed that, but switch is greater than promotion, yes, switch is much better than promotion in terms of tech, sadly. Tech is the only field where your salary doubles every 3 years more or less. मोस्टली जो लोग एजेड पे 300 क्वेश्चन कर लेते हैं एंड जो कुछ कनेक्टेड रहते हैं उनको मिल जाता है। okay. Layoffs, यार layoffs तो बहुत हो रहे हैं यार, and I think it, to be very honest, a lot of companies were not uh, having did not had much work also, to be very honest. तो मैं सच बताता हूँ, बहुत सारी बड़ी कंपनीज में काम से ज्यादा लोग बैठे हुए हैं, ठीक है, एंड कॉम्पिटेंस से भी ज्यादा लोग बैठे हुए हैं, मतलब कॉम्पिटेंस से ज्यादा सैलरी लेने वाले लोग भी बैठे हुए हैं बहुत सारे कंपनीज में। तो दुनिया का रूल यही है कि अगर तुम कॉम्पिटेंट नहीं हो तो ले ऑफ हो जाओगे, और अगर कॉम्पिटेंट हो तो तुम्हें कंपनीज लेगी, इतनी कंपनीज बन रही है आज भी, इतने स्टार्टअप बन रही है जितने हो रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो बहुत स्टार्टअप हायर कर रही है, या दिस लाइक, बट ले ऑफ इज टू मच, 50K ईच टाइम लाइक इट्स ग्रास। तो दुनिया में सिर्फ बड़ी कंपनीज जिनके पास ऑलरेडी टैलेंट का सप्लाई है, सिर्फ वही कंपनीज दुनिया में थोड़ी है, मतलब आई अग्री दैट यू शुड एम फॉर अ कल्चर वेयर यू आर इन सपोज गूगल एंड यू आर लर्निंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स एंड बिग टेक है, जे जॉब की सिक्योरिटी होती थी, बट आई थिंक वर्ल्ड हैज चेंज्ड, नो, लाइक आई डोंट थिंक दीस डेज देयर इज एनी जॉब सिक्योरिटी इन वर्ल्ड, एनीवेयर, एनीवेयर देयर इज नो जॉब सिक्योरिटी। तुम कॉम्पिटेंट हो, तुम कंपनी के लिए पैसा बना के दे पा रहे हो, कंपनी के कोई फंक्शन को ओन करते हो, तो तुम नॉन डिस्पोजेबल हो। अगर तुम्हारे तुम्हारे जाने से कंपनी को फर्क नहीं पड़ता तो तुम किसी न किसी दिन चले जा सकते हो, दैट्स ऑल। So there is a Telegram link pinned in the chat. टेल अस कंपनीज हु डू नॉट ले ऑफ. तुम कॉम्पिटेंट, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ, कोई भी कॉम्पिटेंट नहीं है तो वो ले ऑफ करेगी. आज के दिन अगर कोई एजेड में भी, अगर मेरे कंपनी में भी अगर कोई आज के टाइम पे AlgoZenith में अगर कोई कॉम्पिटेंसी नहीं शो कर रहा है, वो काम नहीं कर पा रहा है या नहीं टाइम दे रहा है, तो मुझे भी ले ऑफ करना पड़ेगा. इट्स बट नेचुरल. कोई तुम्हें सैलरी क्यों पे करेगी? मतलब कोई ले ऑफ मत करेगा, तो काम करना बंद कर दो तो कोई ले ऑफ नहीं करेगा. कैसा, ऐसा थोड़ी हो सकता है. समझ कि भैया मैंने 3 साल पहले एजेड प्रीमियम लिया था, अब एक्सटेंड करूंगा तो एचएलडी वाला कोर्स एक्सेस कर पाऊंगा. यस, एजेड प्रीमियम हैज दिस एक्सेस वाला थिंग, राइट? इट्स 1 year एक्सेस टू एवरीथिंग. लोल विवेक स्केयरिंग हिज टीममेट्स. वो तो है ही. ट्रू. सबके लिए ही डर है इस दुनिया में. नहीं नहीं भाई, उनको बहुत हाई हाई रेटिंग्स मिलता है. अभी कल ही परसों ही बात कर रहा था मैं, उनका ले ऑफ नहीं होने वाला. बट होल टीम्स आर लेड ऑफ, इवन गुड वंस. गुड वन का डेफिनेशन क्या है? गुड का मतलब क्या है? कॉम्पिटेंट नहीं. क्या एक कंपनी के लिए तुम कब तक गुड हो? जब तक तुम्हारा इम्पैक्ट है, जब तक तुम्हारा नंबर्स है, जब तक तुम रेवेन्यू ड्राइव कर रहे हो. खत्म बात यार. लाइफ, there is a big shift happening in world where things are moving from promise based and stuff to a lot of outcome based things. तो अगर तुम आउटकम ड्राइव कर रहा है कोई टीम और उसमें काम है करने को, तो कभी नहीं ले ऑफ हो सकता. ऐसे तो मतलब कोई बेवकूफ थोड़ी बैठा हुआ है कंपनी में, है ना? मतलब लाइक जो चला रहे हैं, जिस टीम से उनको प्रॉफिट हो रही है लाखों करोड़ मिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स की, वो कंपनी बंद कर, वो टीम बंद कर देंगे वो लोग. कभी ऐसा हो सकता है? Does SD2 require? Till SD3 you need DSA a lot. I think like one round will happen everywhere, but till SD3 you need DSA. एंड लॉट ऑफ पीपल, ये भी एक मैं मतलब बहुत क्लियर करता हूँ यार, अगर तुम कॉलेज में हो, यू हैव गोल्डन टाइम, प्लीज प्रिपेयर योर डीएसए राइट नाउ. लाइक लॉट ऑफ गुड रिसोर्सेज, यूट्यूब चैनल हो गया, लाइक कंटेंट है, क्वेश्चन सेट्स है, एजेड जैसा प्लेटफॉर्म भी है. बट देन लाइक इफ यू आर हैविंग टाइम इन कॉलेज राइट नाउ, यू हैव अ गोल्डन टाइम, प्लीज यूज इट. लोगों को लगता है कुछ तो करके मैं कंपनी में घुस जाऊं, तुम लाइफ टाइम फंस जाओगे. द मोमेंट यू गेट लेड ऑफ, यू विल हैव पैनिक फॉर लाइफ. द रीजन डिपेंड, थिंक अबाउट द मेंटल स्टेट बिटवीन टू पर्सन, जो चीटिंग करके कंपनी में घुसा है और जो सच में कॉम्पिटेंट है और वो कंपनी में घुसा है. दोनों ले ऑफ हो गए. दोनों के माइंड के स्टेट में क्या डिफरेंस होगा तुम समझ नहीं सकते. बिकॉज आफ्टर यू गेट इन टू अ कंपनी, तुम्हारे पास फ्रेंड्स नहीं होते चीटिंग करने के लिए, ये करने के लिए, जो भी तुम कर रहे हो कॉलेज में. तो द मेंटल स्टेट इज वेरी डिफरेंट, एंड लाइफ में तुम्हें खुद के लिए करना ही पड़ेगा कभी ना कभी. भैया वेब3 इज सो फ्रेश इन टेक लाइक सोलाना एंड इथेरियम, व्हाट्स योर थॉट ऑन दैट? देखो सोलाना इथेरियम इसमें लाइक ये तो जब मैं भी करता था जेरोस पीपीएल में 3 साल पहले, तब 2 साल पहले तब भी था. ऐसा कुछ फ्रेश नहीं है. कोई ट्रांजिशन तो लोग तो ट्रांजिशन आउट ही कर रहे हैं काफी लोग, बट मतलब इन आउट दोनों चल रहा है इस इंडस्ट्री में. आई एम नॉट अ बिग लाइक, आई एम नॉट वेरी बुलिश इन वेब3. आई नो दैट देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ पोटेंशियल इन ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी, बट आई एम नॉट दैट बुलिश इन वेब3 एज सच, इन माय पर्सनल thesis. ठीक है. It is a lot powerful and everybody will have some like, but at the end कोई गवर्नमेंट कोई पावर कंट्रोल नहीं छोड़ेगी अपने चीजों का. तो will never come to an economy where open chain coins are that powerful. So I'm not believer of like as such web3. रेफरल लेने से इंटरव्यू तो क्रैक नहीं हुआ. रेफरल से तो, नेटवर्क से तो रेफरल मिलता है. वंस यू आर वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल, गेटिंग रेफरल इज इजियर, बट देन getting cracking the interview is very hard. Okay, I mean in AZ we focus on how can we go at this level. AZ का मतलब मेरा टारगेट रहता है when a student joins AlgoZenith Premium, he should eventually reach here, like somewhere mid here, and try to complete this. This year I'll make sure that students are here. नहीं तो जॉब नहीं लगेगी. खत्म बात. ठीक है. रेफरल इज ट्रू. रेफरल भी गारंटी नहीं करता. I'll agree to that. ओएस बड़े कंपनीज का आजकल बहुत थोड़ा रैंडमाइजेशन ही हो गया है. Do you have plans of getting into tech in future? Probably yes. मतलब I think yes, in future yes, but I'll have to see when. Like, I love doing tech, in my opinion. Is it maybe like careers and it? I don't know if you have used. I'll send you all the link. It's like evolving every day. I don't know if you have seen this or not, but we are like building this pipeline where you can now like get all good jobs that are worth of applying for a fresher in as well in today's time in careers. And if you have not used careers and it as of now, it's a free platform for resume building, job application, and there are a lot of things coming. And लाइक नो नो वाइब कोडिंग नहीं, नहीं वाइब कोडिंग तो ये प्लेटफॉर्म वाइब कोड कर दिए तो मैं कोडिंग करना छोड़ दूंगा, ठीक है। ये तो वाइब कोड करने लायक नहीं है, इतना सारा चीज इसमें बनाना है तो बट या you guys can look at like multiple applications and stuff. See, 2 to 4 years ATL backend. Cool, chalo. So there's this link as well. There is any.ai. Explore the site. We are building this. How can we show this resume works with ATS? Is there some score? So yeah, there is a fix. Like, we have checked it with all our ATSs, and like whatever issues we are getting, whatever ways you can improve your resume score, all those things are there. Like, if you see the preview mode, whatever things needs to be fixed, it shows that you don't need to worry about it. And like, we are now building this preset layouts. Like, you can scale things to a degree. तुम जहां पर एडिट मोड में जाओ, जहां भी जाके चेंज करना है, जो भी लाइक जैसे डॉक में करते हो वैसे चेंज करोगे सीधा। चेंजेस के लाइक एआई ड्रिवन चेंजेस चाहिए, बोल्डिंग हाइलाइटिंग करवाना है एआई से, व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू डू, यू गाइस कैन डू दैट हियर, right? Everything should be available. It's like overleaf plus plus, in my opinion. Yeah, it's like a lot of things getting built, and eventually AI chat bhi aa jayega. There will be like a lot of things that you can do with chat, but I guess इतना feature की जरूरत नहीं है. You have this. Yeah, we are planning to have contest as well, but not now. I think maybe this like second quarter of this year. This is overleaf plus plus, more or less, and it shows everything that you can optimize in your resume. Like, तुम जो जो चीजें मिस्टेक करोगे सब सब बताएगा, वो सब बताएगा. Yeah, we are focusing on things like that. There are like lot. So right now we are like, I don't believe in कि यार पूरा prepare बनाएंगे and फिर deploy करेंगे. We host the app, we get good feedback, and then we iterate on it. But yeah, of course, like these things have good reliability now. Like, this site has fairly good reliability, except maybe like 30 seconds downtime when we deploy and all. Right? No cheating contest. Yeah, I will do that. I'll do that this year. We have already built a pipeline internally which can detect all AI codes and stuff. जो भी है. So we'll have contests जहाँ पर cheating नहीं हो पाएंगी. I mean, stuff like ATS compatibility. Oh no, that is like for the HR side. I don't think we are going towards the HR side right now because it's too much of a market and like it's like too much B2B communication. You download the PDF and you upload this. You download the PDF and you upload. Undo वगैरह भी लोगों ने बोला कि चाहिए था विवेक, जो भी हमने करा इसको undo करने दो, redo करने दो, वो भी ऐड कर दिया है. Whatever feedback comes, we'll build it. Yeah, it's blockage. It's a detection of copy paste plus a lot of things. AI detections का बहुत सारा pipeline है. There's like, I can give you a very simple idea. Okay, the speed at which keystrokes happen tell you whether somebody is copying from a WhatsApp. तुम WhatsApp chat निकाल के देख के type कर रहे हो. This, if a human doesn't type, you can detect that keystrokes का width in their time and that time series, and you can check if that's something someone typing really, or are they pasting, or are they looking at something and typing. Okay, I'll just give you like one of the many things that works. Anyways, दिस जस्ट अबाउट डिटेक्टिंग चीटिंग। भैया लीड कोड पे चीटिंग कम करवा दो। नहीं यार, मैं नहीं करवा सकता। जिस जिस मतलब अगर प्लेटफॉर्म स्ट्रिक्टली बैन करना स्टार्ट करेगी और डिटेक्शन पे वर्क करेगी तो ही होगा। I mean, what code forces should have done? I think we can do it. I can build a platform for that. I have that infra now. लाखों रुपए रख जाए लग जाएंगे, क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम है उसमें, कोई इशू नहीं है। विल बिल्ड दैट। ठीक है, बट ये प्रॉब्लम तो सॉल्व करने लायक है। इफ अ प्रॉब्लम इज वर्थ सॉल्विंग, वी विल। बट स्केलिंग अ कॉन्टेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इज नॉट, लाइक कॉन्टेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म इज नॉट इजी, बट शुड बी पॉसिबल। सीएफ तो कॉन्टेस्ट बैन कर देती है। या नंबर नंबर वेरिफिकेशन तो फॉर श्योर होगा, कॉपी पेस्ट बैन। या like every person will get one warning and permanent ban thereafter. Number verification hoga, there will be some community sourcing as well, will get you this. Yeah, scaling, like as in like making sure that 10,000 people can give a contest is not easy. Yes, Uday, I don't know, like if I will chat, we had a chat once. I don't know where you are working right now. I think there will be a opening sometime soon in EZ. I'll talk to you. Prasit, after the stream, probably no. Let's do this. Like, I'll set up a time with you on tomorrow at 7:15 or so. I think that should work. Or like 8 p.m. also works for me. 8:30 p.m. actually works for me. I'll set up a time. वेब सॉकेट यूज करोगे ना, लाइक सीएफ। वेब सॉकेट क्यों चाहिए? सीएफ में वेब सॉकेट कब से आ गया? वेब सॉकेट क्यों चाहिए मतलब? वेब सॉकेट इज अ वेरी हार्ड टेक्नोलॉजी टू स्केल। मतलब इतना ज्यादा नहीं करना होता है। मतलब आई थिंक इट्स इजियर टू स्केल सर्वर्स एंड डीबीज रादर देन स्केलिंग वेब सॉकेट्स, है ना? फॉर वेटिंग रिजल्ट, भाई मेरे को एक बार का चाहिए होगा ना, तो मैं एक रीलोड बटन डाल दूंगा कि भाई तुम इस पे रीलोड करो तो वो रिजल्ट रीलोड करेगा, इंस्टेड ऑफ बीइंग लाइक कि मेरे को अगर 1 लाख लोगों का कॉन्टेस्ट होल्ड करना है तो मैं बैठ के उसके लिए वेब सॉकेट का लाइक बैकएंड लिखूं और उसको स्केल करूं उतने दूर तक। ठीक है, it's not an easy thing to build WebSocket based apps like WhatsApp chat and all. सब इतना easy नहीं है। There are things, there are technologies like Pusher which is available. I think they have like lakhs messages free. So if somebody wants to build that, yeah, um, you can use it. But there's no point in building solutions for things like, there is a layer of engineering better than building good tech. खुद सीखने के लिए लोग अगर कुबरनेटिस यूज कर रहे हैं, है ना, लोग खुद से मतलब जबरदस्ती टेक को हार्ड नहीं कर रहे हैं यार। जो चीज ह्यूमन यूआई से सॉल्व हो सकता है उसको उससे करो, जबरदस्ती टेक हार्ड मत बनाओ। कुछ नहीं, रिलोड बटन रहेगा, वो इंसान रिलोड पे क्लिक करेगा तो अभी लेटेस्ट क्या स्टेटस है वो फेच होगा, थोड़े थोड़े देर में रिलोड बटन प्रेस करो, खत्म बात। उसके लिए मैं क्यों बैठ के वेब सॉकेट बनाऊं? एंड ऑप्टिमिस्टिकली साइट थोड़े टाइम में अपने आप करेगा। ठीक है, यानी गेम्स के लिए वेब सॉकेट इज नॉट नॉट एन ऑप्शन। ठीक है, तो वो तो करना ही पड़ेगा। ठीक। What's your opinion on building from scratch? LeetCode had GraphQL for the APIs and all. I have not like read much about it as such. I mean, streaming क्या ही करता है वो, मतलब कर सकते हैं streaming, मतलब हाँ वही ना, बैकग्राउंड जॉब लगाओ, फेच करो एवरी 1 सेकंड, खत्म, इतना सोचना नहीं। ज्यादा भी स्केल करने का कुछ नहीं है, आधी चीजें तो सेम ही है। तुम्हें रीड्स को स्केल करना है, राइट्स को स्केल करना है, बैकग्राउंड जॉब बनाना है, ज्यादा कुछ इस दुनिया में है नहीं। और सब ऑटो स्केल, स्केलिंग वेलिंग पे डालो, खत्म। इतना ज्यादा ज्यादा नहीं दिमाग खराब करना है टेक में। ज्यादा बनाना, ज्यादा इंजीनियरिंग करोगे तो बस इंजीनियर हायर करते रह जाओगे और खत्म हो जाएगा जिंदगी। ठीक है, ज्यादा ज्यादा इंजीनियरिंग नहीं करना चाहिए। कम चीजें बनाओ, उसको कम धीरे धीरे स्केल करो जैसे यूजर चाहिए। आपको इतना कैसे पता? तुम्हें क्या लग रहा है कि मैं तुम्हें आई डोंट नो, तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि मैं इस स्टैक पे कहाँ हूँ? बट आई गेस I would not be at a GSOC level, but I think I can do this much for sure. I mean, I think I can do GSOC also, I feel, at this point because I've worked in companies. But like अभी तो मैं इस लेवल पे पहुंच गया हूँ. I think front end मेरे को नहीं आता इतना कुछ खास अच्छा. But अब AI है तो ज़्यादा जरूरत भी नहीं है. ठीक है? तो मैं तो खुद भी इतने दूर is if you're good enough till this point and you have good enough industry experience, plus I have read a lot of HLD, LLD parts things as well. I think you can build good technology. स्पीकिंग ऑफ ओवर इंजीनियरिंग, इज जीआरपीसी और प्रोटोटाइप यूजिंग AlgoZenith? नहीं, ये सब काम नहीं करते हम लोग. सिंपल रेस्ट एपीआई यूज करो. ठीक है, हमारे एक टाइम पे एट द ऑर्डर ऑफ 10,000 ही प्रीमियम यूजर्स होंगे जो ज्यादा यूज करेंगे साइट को. बाकी सिर्फ स्टैटिक पेजेस सर्व कर रही है अपने को. ठीक है, ये सब फालतू काम नहीं करना है. लाखों में साइंड अप यूजर्स होंगे, सबके होते हैं. बट प्रीमियम यूजर्स एक लिमिट तक ही होते हैं. एक्टिव जिनका बैच कोहोर्ट चल रहा है उनका ही चल रहा होता है. इसके लिए मुझे इतना ऑप्टिमाइज करने की जरूरत नहीं है कि मैं बैठ के दुनिया भर का ऑप्टिमाइजेशन करने बैठ रहा हूँ, है ना. ये सब करके फायदा नहीं है. 10K, जब तक मैं 1 लाख प्रीमियम यूजर हिट ना कर दूं तब तक मुझे स्केलिंग करने की सोचने की जरूरत नहीं पड़नी चाहिए आइडियली, विच इज फेयरली हार्ड. तो क्यों करना है ओवर इंजीनियरिंग, क्यों करना है फालतू? जो जरूरत है वो बनाओ. अब मुझे कौन से इतने माइक्रो सर्विस ही नहीं है मेरे को. एजेड इज नॉट अ माइक्रो सर्विस प्लेटफॉर्म, इट्स अ सिंपल सिंगल वर्टिकल प्लेटफॉर्म, वर्टिकल स्केल्ड प्लेटफॉर्म, है ना. इसमें फालतू चीजें माइक्रो सर्विस नहीं बनाते हम लोग. एक सबमिशन का अलग पाइपलाइन है, बस दैट्स इट, बाकी कुछ नहीं है. कुछ चीजें AWS लैम्डा पे है, कुछ चीजें अपने खुद के वर्कर पे है, सब चीज अपना एक लोकल एक EC2 इंस्टेंस पे चल जाता है. एक दो स्केल अभी रोहन ने लगाया है. कॉन्टेस्ट वाला पाइपलाइन थोड़ा स्केल किया है रोहन, दैट्स ऑल. ऑटो स्केलिंग होगा उसके सर्वर पे, नथिंग मच एल्स दैट. अरे तो ये तो वही बात है. द ओनली थिंग इज एआई इज मूविंग एट अ वे फास्टर रेट देन डेव्स कैन कीप अप. तो तुम्हें क्यों लग रहा है कि तुम्हें एआई को बीट करना है? तुम्हें तो बाकी डेव को बीट करना है. वो है ना कि लायन दौड़ रहा है तुम्हारे पीछे, तो तुम्हें लायन को थोड़ी बीट करना है, तुम्हें तो बाकी डेव को बीट करना है. और बाकी ह्यूमंस को तो बीट करना पॉसिबल होना चाहिए. अरे पुशर भी वही बोल रहा हूँ. अगर हमें कभी बनाना पड़ता है तो हम फ्री मतलब पुशर यूज कर लेते हैं. हमें खुद से बैठ के लाइक वेब सॉकेट बनाने की जरूरत नहीं है स्क्रैच से तुम लोग बनाते हो, है ना. तो इतना मत सोचो. what which rating matters most? Cheating is everywhere. I think rating has lost its value anyways. I don't believe in ratings as much as I used to earlier, because आज के टाइम पे कोई भी आके बोल देगा कि अरे मैं 1900 हूँ. ठीक है. Bro, not beating AI but in the team. Yeah, so you beated all those rest of the 12 people that left, right? Essentially that's what happened in your team. It's not about what AI can do, it's what CEOs think it can do. No, eventually people will have burnout and companies which don't scale that way will fail. और कुछ नहीं होगा. If a CEO thinks कि उसका AI सब कुछ कर देगा, तो one day that company is bound to fail. और क्या मतलब, इसके अलावा और क्या है? और क्या होना है इसके अलावा? सर जावा डेवलपर और द पीपल आर रियली गुड एंड मे बी दैट पुशिंग पीपल वर्कड, है ना. बट दैट्स 5 ईयर लेटर. तब तक फंडिंग के पैसे पे मुझे सैलरी तो मिल रही है ना. ठीक है. सर जावा एंड जावास्क्रिप्ट डेवलपर में कंफ्यूजन है, कौन सा चूज करूं? पहले तुम जावास्क्रिप्ट सीख लो फिर जावा सीख लो. ठीक है, जावास्क्रिप्ट इज मोर prominently used. Yeah, Salesforce CEO regretted. There will be more people regretting very soon. People preparing for SD2, any tips? Have 4 years of experience. Yeah, you will be in SD2 category. I think do LLD, HLD fairly well, in my opinion. And like Be ready with your resume, which I feel a lot of senior people forget to do, and be good with HLD and LLD. बाकी तो ये सब चीज जो सामने लिखा हुआ है ये तो बेसिक क्राइटेरिया है ही आज के टाइम पे कि एटलीस्ट मतलब इन माय ओपिनियन आई थिंक समबडी की जिसको लगता है कि मुझे प्रिपेयर करना है एंड आई वांट टू बी गुड एंड आई वांट टू गेट प्लेस्ड, उसको 3 टारगेट करना चाहिए. One language for full stack, by hands down JavaScript here. Though I am not very good at it, but hands down JavaScript. JavaScript. I am more proficient in Python, which I think would be coming next in the list. अगर मुझे एक लैंग्वेज सीखना है for full stack, it would be JavaScript. अगर मुझे एक लैंग्वेज सीखना है, like I learned Python better because I do full stack, not full stack though, but backend in Django and all, and मतलब AI वगैरह भी जो यूज करना है आता है, बेसिक डेटा एनालिटिक्स पता है, बेसिक एमएल पता है, बाकी सब चीज हो ही जाती है. बाकी सी प्लस प्लस अच्छा है फॉर डीएसए. Yeah, but if you are so stuck with if you are so stuck with language, and then मतलब if you are working professional and then you are not able to understand as of now, like after 2-3 years working की language matter नहीं करता, तो you are in wrong domain in my opinion. मतलब sorry for harsh words, but मुझे लगता है कि अगर कोई 2 साल 3 साल काम कर लिया तो you should start realizing कि मैच language तो matter ही नहीं करता ideally. I forget DSA question after some days. So do you understand? देखो मैं तो बताता हूँ एक जूनियर इंजीनियर एंड सीनियर इंजीनियर में क्या डिफरेंस है. अभी जो वी वर डिस्कसिंग अबाउट वेब सॉकेट्स एंड ऑल, राइट. एक जूनियर इंजीनियर क्या बोलेगा, सर मैंने एक कोर्स में करा है. कौन है ये भाई, पहले बैन. ठीक है. एक जूनियर इंजीनियर बोलेगा, भैया मैंने वेब सॉकेट पढ़ा है, हम लोग ये बनाते हैं, ये करते हैं, एंड वी नीड टू डू दिस दिस दिस. अब यही जहां पर कोई एक मिड लेवल इंजीनियर सीनियर इंजीनियर है ना. जैसे सपोज मैं मेरे पास डिसेंट एक्सपीरियंस है, तो एक सीनियर इंजीनियर क्या बोलेगा, क्यों करना है भाई, रीलोड बटन डालो. ठीक है. तुम टेक्नोलॉजी समझो कि टेक्नोलॉजी तुम सीखते हो प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के लिए, है ना. तो टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए प्रॉब्लम नहीं बनाना है, प्रॉब्लम के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी बनाना है. I feel many problems are learned. Yeah, I mean, I agree that there are like around 150 200 techniques that you need to know. Unless you know them, you cannot solve most of the questions. Yeah, you have to learn. मतलब if somebody told you, if somebody told you कि डीएसए में सोच के दिमाग का चीज है ये, अगर किसी ने तुम्हें ये बता रखा है तो तुम्हें किसी ने गलत बताया है. ठीक है. डीएसए इज जस्ट लाइक मैथ्स और फिजिक्स प्रोबब्ली. तुम्हें अच्छे अच्छे इक्वेशंस, अच्छे अच्छे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व किए होने चाहिए, रुडोल्फ टाइप्स या एच सी वर्मा वाले टाइप्स, अच्छे अच्छे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व किए होने चाहिए, तो तुमसे नया क्वेश्चन बनेगा. तुम्हें अच्छे सॉल्व एग्जांपल देखने पड़ेंगे, तब तुमसे नया क्वेश्चन बनेगा. तुम्हें वही 4-5 इक्वेशन है, वही 4-5 चीजें हैं काइनेमेटिक्स में, जैसे v इक्वल टू यू प्लस एटी होता है, जैसे इक्वेशंस होते हैं, वही 4-5 चीजें घुम घुमा के होती है. उसके तुम अच्छे अच्छे एप्लीकेशंस देखते हो, कहीं पर वो टाइम के साथ वैरी कर रहा है तो इंटीग्रेट करना पड़ेगा, कहीं ये करना पड़ेगा वो. लाइक द मोर यू सी दैट, द मोर यू बिकम गुड एट गुड प्रॉब्लम्स, हार्ड प्रॉब्लम्स. भाई आपको तेजा त्रोना कौन है, पता नहीं, पता भाई, नहीं पता कौन है भाई. यस यस, इट वाज डिस्कस्ड विद सीएचटी. भाई जितना एजेड में डेव करवाओ वो कौन से लेवल का है. हैकाथॉन लेवल 3 पे होता है, पढ़ाया क्लास में लेवल 2 तक जाता है. बिकॉज उतना टाइम नहीं होता लोगों के पास. हम ये करते हैं क्लासेस में, और ये टारगेट रहता है हैकाथॉन में तुम सीख जाओ. डेव टास्क हम देते हैं प्लेसमेंट सेल के लिए, उसमें ये सब चीज एक्सपेक्टेड होता है सीखना. व्यूअर्स इंक्रीज्ड आफ्टर लीड कोड क्वेश्चंस. या लोगों को जानना ही है. आई थिंक दिस इज द रियलिटी, राइट. यूट्यूब का तो रियलिटी ही यही है कि लोगों को पढ़ना नहीं है, लोगों को ये जानना है कि पढ़ते कैसे है. तो ये तो मैंने बहुत बार ही बोला है ये. आई थिंक बहुत सही बैठता है यूट्यूब पे. भैया जैसे सी एस की डीएसए की पैटर्न के लिए डेव के लिए कोई है ऐसा. डेव के लिए कुछ नहीं यार, बिल्ड करो. लाइक आई थिंक डेव का एक सिंपल फंडा है मेरे हिसाब से. मुझे कुछ सीखना है, आई विल गो थ्रू अ ट्यूटोरियल, आई विल बिल्ड समथिंग जो भी ट्यूटोरियल में दिखाया हुआ है, आई विल फॉलो इट, एंड देन next time I'll think of an idea that I need to build and I'll build it without a tutorial, text tutorial, of course AI use करके जो भी सोच के पढ़ना है, but I'll design something that I need to solve. To pass on anything gets me good at it. That's what I've learned in tech. उससे ज़्यादा तो मेरे को नहीं आता है कुछ tech, to be very honest. I'm not like the best in tech, but probably better than a lot of people in the chat for sure. मतलब I'll not call myself like the champion in dev as such. बट जितना मैं डीएसए में तुम्हें मुझे देख के जैसे लगता होगा वैसा तो नहीं हूँ मैं डेव में, बट आई एम वेरी गुड, आई फील मतलब अबव एवरेज फॉर श्योर, नॉट एक्सीलेंट. Can median of two sorted array? If you know binary search, then yes. Median of two sorted array, जैसे if you watch on mang.in, my binary search course is there for free. If you watch it, there is a form called finding kth element in any data stream, where you have different kinds of source of building it. If you know binary search, you can solve it in at least a good complexity. Okay, and then the best one, maybe it's very hard, but good enough solution, I think you can solve with binary search only. But yeah, I like to know your opinion on IICPC. It's a good initiative, yeah. It's a very good initiative started, and I think you all should participate. I mean, it should become as good as ICPC eventually. But it's fairly limited, in my opinion, right now, because offline is a hard thing to build. Offline infra of doing contests is a hard thing to build. Yeah, I know Futures First company. Yeah, it's a good company, like high-paying company essentially. How to prepare for job switch while doing 9 to 7, 10 LPA job. 7 to 9 करना पड़ेगा फिर मेहनत. 7 to 7 अगर बाकी सब भी कर लिया तो सुबह 7 बजे से 9 बजे निकालना पड़ेगा, तो क्या कर सकते हैं. There is a website mang.in, I don't know, like if you are on my stream and if you don't know about mang.in and AlgoZenith, तो तुम सही से कंटेंट कंज्यूम नहीं कर रहे हो. Like I'll link that down below sometime soon. I think ये भी मेरे को लोग बोलते हैं, विवेक पता ही नहीं था मुझे आपके बारे में, AlgoZenith के बारे में. There's a lot of good content available there. Specialist से expert कैसे बनूं facing difficulty in any topic resource to focus on. I would say CSE is a good resource to go from specialist to expert, plus practicing constructive 1600 rated problems. भाई बस एक प्रोजेक्ट ले दो, कोर्स मत खरीदो प्लीज. I'll highly suggest you that. आजकल सीएफ एडहॉक थोड़ा ज्यादा आता है. हाँ यस, सीएफ पे तो एडहॉक ही आता है मेरे ख्याल से. Whenever I see CF, I remember the JEE advanced days. Yeah, it is very similar in my opinion too. But yeah, for job switch, should we do CP or just DSA enough? फिर से ये एक बहुत ही फेमस क्वेश्चन. भैया डीएसए करूं कि सीपी करूं? डीएसए सीपी में उतनी ही फर्क है जितना एक बोर्ड के एग्जाम और जेई में जितना फर्क है, उतना ही फर्क है उन दोनों में. ठीक है, अब तुम पूछोगे कि भैया मेरे को जॉब स्विच करना है, तो मैं बोर्ड्स में मेरे को क्लास 12 के बाद कॉलेज लेना है, तो मैं बोर्ड्स में मार्क्स लाऊं कि मैं जेई के लिए प्रेप करूं, है ना. है ना, तो आई गेस तुम्हें खुद अपने से सोचना पड़ेगा कि तुम क्या कर सकते हो. आई गेस दोनों से कुछ ना कुछ लग सकता है. ऐसा नहीं बोलूंगा कि सिर्फ बेसिक डीएसए करा. लेवल लोग बेसिकली इसको डीएसए बोलते हैं. माय अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज पीपल कॉल दिस डीएसए एंड दिस सीपी. इसको डीएसए बोलते हैं, इसको सीपी बोलते हैं. दैट्स द डिफरेंस. बट इट्स जस्ट अ लेवल डिफरेंस कि कितने डेप्थ पे तुम जा रहे हो, कितने अच्छे प्रॉब्लम्स तुम देख रहे हो. दैट्स ऑल द डिफरेंसेस. ओके चलो, वी हैव स्पेंड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम, वी हैव आंसर्ड अ लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. आज के लिए इतना ही करते हैं. इसके बाद अगर मैं जगह नहीं तो जगूंगा मैं एक्चुअली, बट स्ट्रीम पे रहा तो थोड़ा काम रुक जाएगा. तो आई हैव सम टास्क टू कंप्लीट टुडे. I'll wrap it up over here. We'll solve a lot of question. So I'm saying DSA versus CP क्वेश्चन पूछने वाले बंदे श्रद्धा आपकी क्लास में जाए. ये तो अच्छा कमेंट है वैसे तो टेक्निकली. या आई मीन आई थिंक या ठीक है, कुछ लोग अगर लेवल 2 तक ही रहना चाहते हैं तो इट्स फाइन, आई नॉट से कि नहीं करना चाहिए, ठीक है, इट्स आल्सो गुड। आई थिंक यार लाइफ में तुम, मैंने बहुत लोगों को देखा है कि जो अच्छे बन जाते हैं वो सोचते हैं कि अरे कोई बोर्ड्स का सिर्फ पढ़ाई किया तो उसने कुछ नहीं किया, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। कुछ लोग बस बोर्ड्स का प्रिपेयर करके भी लाइफ में कुछ ना कुछ कर ही रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है। बट देन वही है कि जितना तुम कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रिपेयर करो उतना तुम हमेशा बेटर ऑफ ही रहते हो, दैट्स ऑल देयर। स्ट्राइक लग जाएगा पर ना, मैं, मेरे को ना यूट्यूब से कोई रेवेन्यू आता है, मेरे को, मैं मेरा कोई ये नहीं है। अगले दिन मैं एक नया यूट्यूब चैनल बनाऊंगा, टेलीग्राम पे लिंक डालूंगा, बोलूंगा आ जाओ सब कोई आ जाएंगे, इसमें कुछ नहीं है स्ट्राइक लगने जैसे, ठीक है। मैं लोगों की तरह ना इंटीग्रेशन करता हूँ यूट्यूब पे कुछ, है ना, ना कुछ ज्यादा कंटेंट डालता हूँ, ऐसा लाइव स्ट्रीम्स करता हूँ, कभी कभी शॉर्ट्स बना के जो पाइपलाइन पे तो वो डाल देता हूँ, दैट्स ऑल। मुझे तो कुछ खास स्ट्राइक से फर्क नहीं पड़ता, ठीक है। और मैंने किसी के बारे में कुछ खराब भी नहीं बोला यार, आई थिंक ऑल पीपल आर लाइक, आई थिंक एवरी एजुकेटर हैज क्रिएटेड सम रियली गुड कंटेंट। मतलब तुम्हें क्या लगता है कि मैं लोगों को खराब बोलता हूँ और मुझे कंट्रोवर्सी चाहिए? आई डोंट थिंक ऐसा कुछ है ना। ठीक है, मतलब डरने की बात नहीं है, आई रिस्पेक्ट ऑल क्रिएटर्स इन माय ओपिनियन, क्योंकि किसी के लिए भी मुझे पता है आज के टाइम पे, किसी के लिए भी तुम भी बैठ जाओ यूट्यूब पे वीडियो बनाने ना, तुम्हें समझ में आ जाएगी कितनी जान लगती है उसमें, ठीक है। तो कोई भी वीडियो बना रहा है, मतलब आई हैव बिग रेस्पेक्ट फॉर देम। मुझे भी पहले लगता था कि क्या ये कंटेंट क्रिएटर, ये वो इन्फ्लुएंसर फालतू का शॉर्ट बना रहे, ये कर रहे, वो कर रहे हैं ना। बट देन मेहनत है, बहुत मेहनत है, वो जो तुम एडिटिंग देखते हो और जो फाइनल प्रोडक्ट देखते हो उसके पीछे प्लानिंग देखते हो, बहुत मेहनत है। तो आई वुड से कि पीपल आर डूइंग हार्ड वर्क, एंड ऐसा नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि कोई क्या कर रहा है ना। भैया दीदी भी अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, कोई तो किसी का तो उससे भी भला हो रहा है यार, ऐसा मत सोचो कि किसी का उससे नहीं हो रहा है। बट आई थिंक लेवल 3 पे तो इंडिया में एट दिस पॉइंट डीएसए तो आई हार्डली फील कि रेगुलरली आइदर इन कोर्स और इन लाइव कोई पढ़ा रहा है एट दिस पॉइंट। लेवल 3 डीएसए अगर कुछ है तो बहुत कम ही लोग होंगे, है ना। एंड लोग लाइव तो अगर कोई खुद पढ़ा रहा है तो आई थिंक एट दिस पॉइंट मैं ही पढ़ा रहा हूँ। आई थिंक ये वाला पार्ट पे भी आई थिंक इंडिया में अभी लोग हैं, देयर आर गुड कोर्सेस, है ना। बट ये तो आई डोंट थिंक एनीबॉडी इज टचिंग, है ना। तो लेवल 3 तो इंडिया में अगर किसी को स्ट्रक्चरली पूरा करना है तो ओनली प्लेटफॉर्म इज इजेड, देयर इज नो अदर प्लेटफॉर्म इन माय ओपिनियन। अगर कोई हो तो मुझे बता देना, मैं भी जानना चाहूंगा। मतलब होंगे, मतलब आई वुड से देयर आर सम मोर, बट मतलब उतने कॉम्प्रिहेंसिवली और उतने डेप्थ में, और लाइक उस, मैं अगर लाइव क्लासेस ले रहा हूँ इस लेवल का, कोई आके लाइव क्लास ले रहा हो सारे क्लासेस, वेरी एक्सट्रीमली हार्ड, आई डोंट थिंक ऐसा कोई हो। लेवल 3 पढ़ाने के लिए लेवल 3 आना चाहिए। या ये भी ट्रू है। चलो, नो कंट्रोवर्सीज हियर, मे बी टीलेमेटस, या मे बी दे हैव गुड इंस्ट्रक्टर्स, गुड क्लासेस, बट आई थिंक एक डिफरेंशिएटर तो यही है कि तुम, मैं ही लाइव क्लास लेता हूँ, सिंपल। Every course is just level 2 DS maths. Yes, true. And वो fun अलग है यार, मतलब the time that you reach. Yeah, it takes you up to 3.5, I would say. I would not claim that I completely cover ICPC, though अभी अभी एक form circulate हुआ है that we are reviving internally AZ 301, which is like advanced course. So that will also resume. Like it's a, like you cannot buy it. It's only for people who are interested and जिसको करना है वो करेंगे, उस type वाला है। तो only for AZ premium students, and it's a very it's a थोड़ा advanced course, so people are there. Okay, cool, चलो। आई थिंक तो, और हर टीचर अपना कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, कुछ लोग ये कवर करते हैं, कुछ लोग ये कवर करते हैं, मैं ये कवर करता हूँ, ऑडियंस कम है मेरी, बट आई थिंक जो लोग करते हैं वो लोग ग्रो करते हैं, तो आई एम वेरी हैप्पी विद दैट, एंड आई थिंक यू गाइस आल्सो लव द स्ट्रीम, सो थैंक्स फॉर दैट। We'll wrap it up over here. Thanks everyone for joining in. We'll wrap it up over here. Thanks for joining in, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you in the next stream. Okay. Someone is saying do streams weekly. Yes, weekly this month for sure. We'll, like, one weekend I'm not there, but rest of the weekends we'll do. And I think I'll do next stream also. and next stream पे हम लोग और कुछ interesting करेंगे. I was thinking that I'll pick some AtCoder beginner का F problem, which is very good, and maybe we'll discuss that. Let's see. We'll see what we can do. Where do I level 1 and level 2? I think if you are willful enough, then you can learn it from YouTube only. You don't need any course for that. Yeah. Chalo, thanks for joining in, everyone. Bye-bye. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next stream. Thanks for staying for so late. Bye-bye. Also, like the stream if you have stayed for this long. Bye-bye.